horseshoe is back.
What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice podcast. Derek Larger here with you. My guy, Lawrence Owen, Colts Law, joining me. I think I had you on for the last time that we did this with the record prediction. I don't remember if it was a live stream or not, but either way, we kind of seen the roster cuts go through. We've seen a couple of more injuries happen. We're going to kind of revisit now the Colts schedule and see if our opinions have changed at all in regards to the record prediction. So let's go with the first two home games. We got Seattle on September 12th, and we have the Rams following on September 19th. What do you do? What do you think for the record here with Seattle and the Rams?
I think we walk out of that 1-1. I think we're going to host the Seattle Seahawks. I think we're just a better team overall, depth-wise, player-wise. I mean, they've got us, I think, in quarterback, maybe wide receiver. They got two really stud wide receivers over there. But the rest of the team, I mean, we're better all the way around. I have this feeling that doesn't matter who's starting week one. I think that the Indianapolis Colts have the players and the skill to put up points against that defense. I think Seattle could put points up on us, but not in the droves that I think that Indy should be doing it to Seattle. And as for the Rams, man, that's a hard ask. That, in my opinion, that might be the best team in the NFC right now, with Stafford over there. And, of course, Aaron Donald, and we don't know what our left tackle situation is looking like on week 2. There's a whole bunch of situations there. They had the number 1 defense in the NFL the last 2 seasons. That's huge. And their offense, they ain't weak. They're a top 10 offense as well. They were top 10 with Goff, let alone with Stafford. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it'll be a hard fought, but I think it'll be lost. So I think we walk out of that 1-1.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think in the Seahawks game, we'll be able to dominate time of possession with being able to run the football, kind of make it easier on the defense. Because like you said, I think Seahawks, their offense is a lot more explosive, which, it helps. But, when you're talking about being on the road and facing a team like the Colts that love to ground and pound, I mean, it's a different kind of ball game when you're dealing with that. But you're right, with the Rams, almost everywhere you look, there's a stud everywhere in this group. I mean, Matt Stafford being added, that wide receiver group certainly has a couple good wide receivers on it. Offensive line's not terrible. You have Sean McVay calling plays. We know he can definitely get crazy. And then you said it, Donald, you have Jalen Ramsey. You got a couple of those other boys there. I mean, that's just a really hard matchup. Like I said, I think it's going to be a close one, but I do agree with the loss on that one. Now we're talking about the 3-game road trip. No easy task here at all for either one of these. Colts going to the Titans week 3, and then the Colts then going to Miami to play the Dolphins, and then Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. What are you thinking for these 3?
Well, for the Titans, I've got a splitting with them for the season. And it's weird because it seems like we win there and they win at our house. So that's where I'm going to go with it. I feel like we'll go to their house. We'll beat them like we usually do. They've got a big 4. They do. They have an offense. I mean, they're missing their stud tight end and Jonnu Smith, but I mean, they went out and picked up a Julio Jones, kind of counteract that. So they got 2 guys on the outside. They got the stud Henry, obviously. But I feel it's going to look a little bit different because we'll have Stewart and Buckner instead of, guys not going to be there like when he ran all over us last year in week 10. The Miami game, I feel like, yes, they got they have a solid defense, but it's all on the arms of Tua, right? And I'm not sold on that offense for Miami. I think we're a better team all the way around, for the most part. I mean, I might give them the edge in their secondary. I think their secondary is pretty darn solid, but I think our front seven is far and away better. I think our offense is far and away better. We should have no problem beating Miami in Miami. Now the Baltimore game, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. I have us winning that game because I feel like we have a very good front seven. We play a zone defense, and we're very good at zone defense, and that's how you limit Lamar Jackson. And that's how we limited them last year. We held them to like the lowest rushing total and rushing average per carry of the Lamar Jackson era because of that. You know, I think we still be able to do it. I think that we're also a little bit more potent and on offense than what we were last year. I think we beat them. I really do. I know a lot of people don't think we do, but I think we come out, and believe it or not, I think we come out the first 5 games 4-1.
Jeez, that's crazy, dude. I mean, that is definitely crazy. I think this time, just for nostalgia's sake, I think I'm gonna go with the Colts losing against the Titans the first time around. I don't know. I don't know what it is. You're right that sometimes we do like to exchange, between their house and our house. It's kind of weird. But I agree with the Dolphins pick, though, that we should be able to beat them because offensively, even though they have weapons, I think we're just a more sound offense, especially up front, being able to, again, dominate the time of possession, which really helps. And against the Ravens, now I'll give you credit for this. Last year, the reason we didn't beat the Ravens, our offense was atrocious in that game. Bad, bad, bad. Jonathan Taylor got benched in that game. Was the worst game he had all season. Ended up fumbling the football. Phillip Rivers throwing a couple picks and, stuff like that. It was really bad. I mean, as long as the Colts don't have a atrociously bad day offensively, then I think we have a shot at winning this game. But I think for nostalgia's sake, for being on the road, Monday Night Football against the Ravens at Baltimore, I have us losing that one. So you have us potentially going 4-1. I have the Colts going 2-3 to start out the first few games here. But let's go to a couple more games here. We go then to the Texans. We're playing at home, October 17th game. Do we really have to discuss this one?
Okay, so there's a situation. If Watson plays a game for the Texans, he makes it tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Watson's playing. We still don't know. We're a week and a half away from starting the season. We don't know if Watson's going to be playing quarterback or not.
Yeah.
I have to assume he is. And if he is, the last 2 times we played in Houston and in Indy, it came down to the final play of the game, right? Turnovers.
Yep.
Right? At the goal line base, both games. Unbelievable. But at home, we should have no problem. I think we'll win.
I think we get that one. You're right. It really does depend on Watson. If Watson's not playing, I'm 99% positive we're winning that game. And then even if Watson plays, I still give us the edge on it because he's lost all his receivers at this point. Even the Colt killer, Keith Quarta, is no longer there. He's actually on the practice squad for us now. So the Colts killer is now on our own squad. But then we go to a Sunday night football game, again on the road to the Bay, facing the 49ers. What do you think of this one?
This is a game that's going to be really, really tough. San Francisco, when healthy, is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
And by this point, I'm assuming their rookie's going to be playing. And he can move with the football. And it'll be the first time the Colts will face against him. They have a very dynamic pass rush when they have all their guys healthy. Just a good all-around defense. I'm going to give them a loss against the Niners. I think the Niners are going to have a very good season this year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this 49ers team, when healthy, I mean, we saw
Mm-hmm.
what they were last year when they weren't healthy. They were just bad, bad. But that was with half of their starting lineup completely gone throughout the year. So,
Yeah,
that's rough. But, I mean, it seems Colts Nation thinks we're going to have that this year for some weird reason. But nevertheless, I think Fisher will be back by this time. I think our offensive line is going to be back to being healthy. I think we'll be able to stand the pass rush a little better. But I think this is kind of given me the Colts versus Kansas City vibes from a few years ago, where the Colts come into this game not favorited, but are going to end up winning it just for, just to screw a lot of people's parlays over. So I think the Colts win this one. I think this is uh, the magic one that they have. All right.
I think the Niners are going to pull one of those. See, they're very good at running the football, and Shanahan likes to run it in different ways, whether it's end arounds or all sorts of stuff, quarterback draws. You're going to see a lot of different stuff with this team, and every once in a while, the Colts run D will have a bad game, and when you're coming up against a team that you don't face very often, that could be that hit, and that's what I'm worried about.
Gotcha. So you're 5-2. I'm 4-3 through 7 weeks. And then we face the Titans again, this time on Halloween, this time in Indy. So you said earlier you thought we were splitting. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming you'll just go with the loss here on this one.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's basically it, folks. I mean, we did, for some weird reason, the Titans and us, we just always split. Now that Andrew Luck's no longer on this team, we just can't guarantee victory against the Titans anymore. But like I said, I think they win this one at home. So 5-3, both of us. And then it's the short week, but we're at home against the New York Jets Thursday night football. Now, I think we win this one. I think the majority of the time I like to go conservative when I say that Thursday night football really favors the home team. There's a lot less traveling. There's a lot less quick prepared stuff that you need to work on. And since the Colts will already be in town for the week prior, I think the Colts just end up winning it. And I don't know what to expect from Zach Wilson at this point. I really don't know.
I don't think he'll be ready for DeForest Buckner in his face. I think this is going to be another. I honestly, and this is the honest goodness truth. I don't know if it's. I don't think it matters if it's Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold back there. The rest of the team is not good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and this is another one of those situations. We may not have 2 pick sixes and 4 interceptions and all that neat stuff, but I think we still beat them handily.
All right. So both 6-3 there. And then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars to end the homestand here. What do you think for this one?
Oh, we get blown out.
Blown out at home? Hey, listen, we're not in Jacksonville this time, thank goodness. Last year was the absolute worst possible scenario we could have ever had for a starting matchup, okay? We haven't won one since 2013 as a home opener, and we haven't beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville for over 5 years. So that was the absolute worst possible scenario for us.
Yeah, I know. It was a joke. It was a joke because everybody's expecting us to just blow Jacksonville out with all the situation that's going on. Jacksonville's got an offense. Jacksonville has a very solid. Their defense is, but their offense is really, really good. I like a lot of players on that team. I think it's going to be a good game in Jacksonville. Generally, we lose a game to Jacksonville. Like you said earlier, generally in Jacksonville, we don't do well, I feel different than what I did earlier this year. I said we was going to split with Jacksonville earlier this year. I don't think we do. I think we sweep them.
Okay. All right. So we're both 7-3 at that point. Let's go now. Quick road trip to Buffalo to face the Bills.
It's going to be a good game. And the good news about this is it's not late December. Okay, so there's most likely not going to be snow all over the ground. It's most not likely not going to be freezing cold, but it's still Buffalo. It's still the exact, basically same team that we faced last year. And I'm sorry, but Josh Allen's a stud. Okay, and he's like, in my opinion, a top 3 quarterback right now in the NFL. So we've seen him make monster strides from rookie to sophomore to junior year. What's he going to do his senior year? If he makes another stride in his senior year, then it's lights out in Buffalo. I think it's going to be another good game, just like it was the wild card game last year. But I'm going to give this one the edge to Buffalo because it is their home game.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I just think Buffalo never took a step back. They actually took a step forward, which, again, that's what they need to stay relevant in the AFC right now because they're trying to still push for that Super Bowl. All right, 7-4, both of us. And then we have the introduction game for Robert Mathis this year, and that's against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're at home. Now, I'd like to say that the Colts win for Robert Mathis, but, I mean, looking at that Tampa Bay team, did not lose anyone in free agency worth anything. I mean, this is pretty much the same team that went to the Super Bowl just a few months ago. I don't see the Colts pulling this one out. I just don't.
I see this as a very low-scoring, hard-hitting defensive game. I really do. I don't think it. I don't see the over of 40 in this game.
Okay.
Okay. This is a game that their team plays very physical defense, even in the secondary. And our receivers, a lot of our receivers are not necessarily physical receivers. Even Michael Pittman Jr. in the run game, yes, he's physical, but when he gets physical out on his routes, he gets pushed off his routes, stuff like that. It's basically what New England used to do to us, back in the Peyton Manning days, This is going to be but our defense, again, very fast, aggressive defense, young, swarms to the ball. They're not used to seeing a defense like that. Like, it's going to be close. I'm going to give it to Tampa, but I think it could go either way depending upon how the turnover needle goes.
Gotcha. All right, 7-5 there. Then the Colts go to NRG Stadium, T.Y. Hilton's second home, face the Texans again. And I think, again, T.Y. Hilton has another 100-yard game because he just seems to always do that every time he goes to NRG Stadium.
Except last year.
And so did he did it last year, right? Did 114 yards? Thought he had 114.
I didn't think he did.
I could have sworn he had a 100-yard game. Might not have.
All right, maybe he did. I don't know.
I thought he had like 7 or 8 catches for like 114 yards and a touchdown at least.
Okay, go ahead. Either way.
Yeah, either way. I think we got that one. So 8-5 there, and then we go to the Colts have their bye. Then they play the Patriots off their bye. Day after my birthday, which is cool. So very interesting situation here because we know how good Frank Reich is after a bye week. I don't think the Colts have lost after a bye week since he's been the head coach. I don't believe so.
This is after New England's bye week too.
I mean,
yeah,
you got White and Belichick with 2 bye weeks right here. Like, come on, y'all. This is perfect prime time scenario. You're going to see these two teams at their best, given the circumstances that they have. I don't know. What do you have here?
I got Indy winning this game.
Okay.
This is one of those rare situations where we're going to face a New England team. Yes, their defense is going to be still studly. They got a good running game. But I think this isn't the same Colts, right? From Manning days. We have a run defense, right? Yeah. We were number 2 in the NFL last year. We have a run defense. We're not going to see Blunt take 230 off on us, right? But they do have a solid running back core. They picked up a really hard-nosed runner in the draft named Stevenson, who's solid. And then, of course, Harris back there as well, running the football. This is going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah.
Two good defenses, two run heavy offenses. I don't think we're going to pass a lot because they got a very good secondary. Uh, I could see a 27-24 type game, and I think Indy wins this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you too. I don't know how much faith I have in Mac Jones to play the same way that we used to see Brady do it all the time. And that's just not really Mac Jones's game. Now it may change over time, but still a rookie
Max
quarterback.
more of a Brady than Cam Newton was, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nonetheless, I get that, but I mean, again, we'll
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there. But I think the Colts sneak this one out to stay 9-5. All right, then we have the Christmas game, Colts versus the Cardinals, going up against that stud team in the South there. I mean, I give the Cardinals a lot of credit. Their team is talented everywhere you look at it. I mean, they got pass rushers. They obviously have the quarterback to make anyone look silly. DeAndre Hopkins, our old nemesis, and the plethora of running backs and a couple of good corners there as well. I mean, in my opinion, I think the Colts lose this one. I think it's going to be a fun game, but I just think given circumstances and being on the road against a good young team like this, I just don't know if the Colts pull this one out.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where containment is going to be so important. Just like in the Buffalo game or Kansas City game or something like that. Containment on the quarterback is so important because Kyler Murray can run with that football. It's funny because we face a lot of those. Week 1 with Russell Wilson. Another guy that we face very similar to that. And you talk about their bookend pass rushers. They picked up a really stud linebacker in the draft. In the first round. This could be a good game. I still think it's going to be high scoring. I think both teams score over 30 in this game. Both teams have a very good offense. And I just their passing defense is not as good as what it once was when Patrick Peterson was at his prime and things of that nature. Man, this could go either way for me right now. It really could. I like I said, both teams score over 30. I'm going to give us the win, but it's like by a slim margin.
Okay, I'm 9-6. You're 10-5 so far. And then we have the Raiders return home after New Year's Day, and the Colts will face the Raiders again, another rematch from last year. I think we win. The same reason we won last time was, we made less mistakes and we were able to just run the ball straight down their throats. So I think that's ultimately why we win this one.
Okay, so every year the Indianapolis Colts lose a game, they should win. Every year. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders always play the Colts tough. Derek Carr has always given us fits. If we don't get 2 interceptions against him, if Kenny Moore doesn't sky over Waller in that game to make an incredible interception in that game last year, we lose. It's one of those type situations. So, again, this is scary because Carr's beaten us a couple times.
Yeah.
Since we broke his leg back in 2014 or something.
I think that was 16.
16, yeah.
16.
Yeah. I remember that. But since then, he's beaten us twice. And
he's beaten us a lot of times, man.
And he always throws over 300 yards against us. He knows how to pick apart a zone defense.
Yeah.
You got to get the turnovers and you got to make him pay for it. I just feel like this is a game that we should win, but I think Derek Carr might end up pulling it out.
It's becoming one of the Colts' new rivals. I'm telling you, we change it every year. We win, we lose. We win, we lose. It's becoming one of our new favorite rivals. They keep bringing them back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then Jacksonville, one last time, last game in Jacksonville, when all the marbles are on the line here. The Colts need to win in Jacksonville.
When was the last time the Colts won in
years.
Jacksonville?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, man. I really don't. I mean, it's, again, it's one of those games that you said it. The Colts should win it, and they don't. Sometimes they just don't. I don't know. I'm going to give them the win here. I think it's going to be a very close game again, like what we saw last year. That game was not blown away. It was only a 2-touchdown win, but we won it again based off of Jonathan Taylor having the time of his life running the football on those guys. So I have them going 11-6 here to end the season. I think I said 10-7 the first time, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, and I'm improving a little bit as well, because I think we win because the Indianapolis Colts need to go in on a high note in the playoffs. And they had just lost in my record to the Raiders. So I think that they need to win this. They know they need to win this. They need to come off on a high note, walking in. I think they're going to be a wild card team in the AFC, and they'll need that in order to ride that win through the playoffs. So yeah, they'll win.
Yeah, the stakes are definitely very high. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let us know what you think the Colts record prediction is going to be. Shout out to my guy, Lawrence Owen, for joining me doing this once again. Make sure y'all check out his channel. His link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.